That was a song I've been trying to remember the name of and the band that plays it for a very long time. I figured it out, but now I'm leaving it up to you. If you want to try and figure it out, you can leave that in the chat while we're live here, and I will commend you on your musical knowledge, I guess. I'm going to go right off the bat. Welcome back to the stock market. And if you are joining me on this video today, then please go up in the top right corner of your screen and click the little eye icon. It'll pop out a poll, and you can vote in that poll. Now, there will be 5 options, and so I will be explaining a little bit about that. We're going to get right into it. First off, I'm going to mention, you may notice I was wearing pants today. This isn't extremely special of an occasion. It just kind of worked out that I went to work in this and then I didn't get changed because I'm actually going to a volleyball game later, which should probably be a theme on Thursdays now, the next few weeks or so. But I'm going to switch the screens over so we can see the stock market, and I have purposefully zoomed in so that you can't see the 5th column, but I am going to slowly zoom out as we reveal the new company that will be joining us on our adventure in the color market. So as I zoom out a little bit, it's the number 12. So I don't know what I did, but there we go. There we go. That's where we want to be. So I have actually made up a new Excel sheet based off of the original one. There was a lot of I started with the original one. So anything that was there is still there, and then I just added upon it. So you'll notice that we have me up in the top where I should be, I guess, because I won the last season. And then Even Steven 2.0 is here in second. And we don't have anybody in the competition yet because the way that this stock market works, if you haven't seen it before, is every time that I have a guest on the stream, they can join into the stock market and they can buy and sell their stock whenever they please, assuming that they can contact me in some way, shape, or form. But assuming that I got them on the show, they have some sort of contact with me. So we have 5 stock to pick from this half year, I guess. We have red, yellow, green, and blue making a return to the market, and our new competitor, the number 12. Because if I went with a different color, it would have just been a mixture in between these, and one could even argue that blue is a mixture. Well, no, that's a lie. Green is a mixture of yellow and blue, or if you want to go in terms of additive colors, then it gets on a whole different spectrum, but haha, jokes. I decided that the number 12 was going to be our new company, and well, sorry, they approached me. They wanted to join the market, but I have updated the Excel sheet. I see a comment in the chat from Mr. Positive actually asking me where I got my shirt. This is actually a shirt that I got because I was in the right place at the right time. I had a sports business analytics class over the last summer, and because I'm in Florida, there was the Copa America, and the Orlando City stadium had a couple games from Copa America there. And so they needed volunteers to work the event. I did not volunteer to work the event. I just happened to be in the class with the professor who was facilitating the whole thing. He had a whole box of free stuff and gave us some stuff. So I ended up getting a really nice polo shirt. So it worked out. But back to the stock market. So I'm just going to do a little tour through the new stock market. You'll notice there's a new tab and some things have different names. So this tab is pretty straightforward with what we've seen before. It may be a little bit zoomed out just so we can fit more stuff in. But the market factor is still the same, other than the fact that now it will be a random number between 0 and 40 as opposed to its original 0 through 50, because with 4 stock, if every stock got an even amount of votes in the poll, then it would have a 20%. So I don't want to penalize the entire market for getting an even amount. So I am I've spread it out, so that's the plan. We're gonna do 0 through 40. It also should make the market a little bit less, I guess, spastic in a sense. I don't know if that'll hold true because we can still have 100% if a lot of people don't vote. But that's even more reason why you should go up in the corner right now to the right corner and vote in the poll if you haven't already, especially since you know about the new company. Um, so now we have the market trends. So this is what you saw last year as the historic data, and or last season as the historic data. And so this will be pretty much the same. In fact, exactly the same, other than the fact that I haven't. I've just kept it at 26. One, it was giving me some troubles because Excel can be annoying if you're trying to edit graphs. But two, it also is nice to see like how far away we are from the end, so you can really see the midpoint on the graph, or as we're approaching different points in the graph. So that'll be cool to see. 12 is represented by a dark gray line here. And then on the contestant trends, now this is something new. So you can see the two contestants we have so far, myself and even Steven 2.0. I've put myself in gold because I was in first last season. I've decided that the reward for people being over the boring Boris level is going to be the like size of your line. So you will be you will have a larger line than everyone else to show that you did well last season. Um, and so right now I have a 5 point line, and let me scroll over to where I can edit stuff, and I'm just gonna drag this down one, and then you should be able to see a little bit of a line there. So it's not overbearing. It's a reasonable sized line. And then even Steven is a I believe 4 point line, because bronze was slightly below gold. And then if Megan joins the stock market this season, she will have a silver color, assuming that she doesn't want to have some other color. Because one of the other things I'm going to do is, because we have this graph, is I'm going to open it up so that people can choose what color they want their line to be on the graph, assuming it hasn't been chosen so far and assuming it's not too close to other colors. But I think this will be cool because we can see how people fare based off of their, like, where they came in and if they had any peaks and valleys. And so if you were jumping into it and maybe not seeing every single episode of this, then you'll be able to look at this graph and see exactly who has done what over the past few weeks. So I think this is a cool aspect to add to the graph. But in terms of actual stock market fluctuation, we won't have our first fluctuation until next week. So what we have is that the week totals are going to be listed here in this table. This table will keep extending as we get more people in the contest, and we will be able to see how people do in comparison to each other when people switch positions and whatnot, because there was a lot of that happening right towards the end of last season, and I want to capture that. So it may be something where I have to actually update that graph off camera, just because it'll take some time to plug everyone's number in correctly. But I can always post a picture of that graph up on Facebook afterwards, and then more people get to be able to see it even if they don't watch the video. So I think that'll be a cool idea. But this is pretty much it. We have 12 as our new contender in the stock market, and I think that it's going to be a great half year. I'm hoping that we can get a little bit more participation, but along that lines, I'm also going to be trying to get more guest speakers in. I know that my goal at the turn of the year was to have 2 per month, and I was kind of close to that. I think I undershot it a little bit, but we are starting off strong right off the bat with June, because actually in the audience right now, Mr. Positive is going to be joining me on Saturday to talk a little bit more about some art topics. And then I believe that my friend Carly, you may have seen the very first guest stream with TechnoCarly. She's going to be joining us to talk about her graduate thesis, I believe. So that should be interesting. I believe that's going to be on the 24th. It should be pretty midday because I actually have something in the afternoon on the 24th. But you can look forward to that. I definitely look forward to hanging out with my friend Carly. And but that's pretty much it for the stock market because today we don't have too much to show. Not much has happened. I get a woot woot from Mr. Positive in the chat. I like to see that. But I guess I'm going to switch over and talk a little bit about my game, and then we'll try and make sure this isn't too long of a stream. So let me switch the screen over to Easteria. Oh, that was confusing. The mouse was showing up on this screen, but then this screen was capturing this screen. It was very confusing. So I just need to start up the game, and now you may have seen a little bit of weird fringe on the side, but we should be able to see it. Now, there's probably not too much that looks different right now. I want to make sure I can still see the chat, so I've got it over here on the side if you guys have any questions. It probably looks about the same. I think it's running a little choppy just because I'm streaming at the same time and running Excel and a lot of things are happening, and I'm also split screening. But you've seen how we get out of this room. I will give a little teaser. There is some extra swamp sludge color on the map, but we will go. We're just going to grab the sheet and get out of here. And so there's some stuff up there, but we still have the cows. In the latest update, I made it so that you could walk through the cows, but they also don't moo. It's a slight side effect of transparency. So there's some trees up here, and if we look at the map, then we can see that the map has expanded. You can actually run into these trees. As you can see, I'm going completely straight. I haven't taken my finger off the keyboard, but it's stopping me. But you can go under them. You can actually see through the little edges of them, which is pretty nice. I am a little annoyed with how organized it is. And I also think that I can make my life a little bit easier if I simply take this tree that I've copy and pasted several times into objects and just make one object that is all the trees. Because all the trees do is obstruct you, and there may be some interaction, but I think the interaction will be universal amongst all trees, so that shouldn't be a problem if I just do one object. So you can see, I think actually the game slows down a little bit extra when I come into here, and that's because there's just so many trees that this was actually a problem in the original version of this game that I was making a really long time ago, was I was just trying to print so many things to make a forest. So what I think I need to do is I just need to make one picture that I'm printing to the screen that has all the trees, and then I can actually even make it more dense of a forest and a little less organized, and I'll still be able to get the effect across that I want. So that's pretty much all I have to show right now. It's kind of cool that you can go explore by entering new areas. You can actually see the line down at the bottom that you're crossing, and then that area lights up on the map. I haven't included the trees in the map yet because I'm not certain that I'm going to keep them this way. Actually, I'm almost certain that I'm not going to keep them this way. So, but you can look forward to, in the next update, seeing some significant expansion in terms of the map. Because right now I have a lot of the infrastructure down. I still need to add the stats tab and the menu and saving. I think saving is something I can pull off pretty easily. So once I have all of that down, then pretty much from then on, it's just adding story, adding game mechanic. So I think that I have some pretty good ideas. I don't want to spoil any just because I'm not sure how soon I will be able to implement them, but I definitely think that in the next few updates we will have at least one town in the game that you can go interact with people. How densely populated the town will be, maybe something a completely different question, but it's going to be a long process, and I hope you guys will stick along with me for the journey. So I don't have too much more to say on the game. That's pretty much all I have to show right now. Is that we have some expansion in the map, and it's very easily expandable. I was actually able to create all five of those forest plains by kind of copy and pasting and alternating which one had what background. But it turned out looking pretty nice, and I hope you guys are enjoying the process of the development. But for now, I'm going to be signing off. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Andrew, for coming in the comments and asking questions. But until Saturday, I guess, I will see you on Facebook and everywhere else. So